and gentlemen, hello. I am Zukisa Nante. Welcome to the Equity Revolution podcast. Today, I'm with Junior Mthombeni. Let's start that again, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I'm trying to record my stuff, but this is a free podcast. So please bear with me as we are learning together how to do this thing. Okay, the third start again, ladies and gentlemen, please. Welcome to the Equity Revolution podcast. Today I'm with the only man here that you can see, Junior Mthombeni. The language of today, we're going to switch between Dutch and English, but I would prefer this one to be in English. He's a South African. So, Belgians, bear with me. Flemish, 86% of you speak English. That's a research from Ghent, not from me, so you can talk to the university should you have problems with that. Mr. Mthombeni, how are you, sir?
Good. I'm good.
Yes. Man, I'm happy to be here. You can remove that if you want. If you want to use it, you can use it. It's up to you. Junior, thanks for making your time, man. It's always nice talking to you. And hopefully today we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
I forgot my coffee.
Take your coffee.
I'll take my coffee.
Of course.
We are free here, Junior. My first question to you is going to be very simple. Who is Junior Mthombeni? For the people at home that don't know you. Or you want to greet them first?
Yes, good morning, Belgium. Good morning, South Africa. Good morning, world. Wow, what a difficult question. Who is Junior Mthombeni? So what do I do? Maybe it's because I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a what, you know. But what I'm doing, and I think you asked me also in that line, I am first of all a director for theater, also musician, also actor, and yeah, that's the line of the job, and that's my passion, that's my life.
Yeah.
In that way we know each other also from a project we did, and where I met you as an actor in Ipelageen, Soweto, South Africa, and that was the first time we saw each other. Long time ago.
Hey.
And in between we did some plays together, in between we worked together, so
yeah.
I'm very glad to.
You know, I'm glad you talked about South Africa, greeting South Africa and whatever. Now I'm watching this podcast, I'm thinking, what the heck is he? Who is he greeting South Africa? What's your connection with South Africa?
Okay. So my father is a South African. He was with the ANC and he fled South Africa, I think somewhere 65, 66, because he went to the Umkhonto weSizwe.
Yeah.
So he came here as a politician refugee and a kind of a spokesman for ANC. At that time they saw us as a terroristic organization, ANC, and we as a family, so we were controlled a lot, and they were afraid of him. Then we had in Belgium a cafe cultural center called Jumbo, where a lot of South Africans came, like Dudu Pukwane, Johnny Diani, all those musicians, activists. They came. They had a spot in Belgium, and that was in Mechelen, where I'm living now.
Yeah. So,
and there we built up the organization Boycott Outspan Actie, called Boycott Outspan Actie. Yes.
Okay, so if I hear you correctly, excuse me that I'm going to take you back and forth. You saying that your father was the member of the ANC. But what is the ANC to those who don't know?
The African National Congress.
Because I'm in Belgium.
You're in Belgium.
What ANC.
Everybody knows ANC.
Everybody knows.
And hey, you have to. And right. The leader was one of the leaders. When you say Nelson Mandela, they will know.
Everybody will know that that's the ANC.
Yes.
You mentioned the years of the 60s that your father was here.
Yeah.
But before I go back there, I think we owe the Belgian listeners also to say to them that I already mentioned it actually that we're gonna switch the languages, but if you feel switching once in a while for me, I don't care, it's fine. But our listeners, I mean, I believe everybody should be able to understand it, but I think it's better in English. I would prefer it in a language that it's mine, not English, because English is a language of somebody else. But we can't do otherwise. The world already adopted it.
Okay.
But anyway,
Okay.
let's now go back to the 60s when your father came here. So your father came straight from South Africa to Belgium, or he went to other countries before he landed in Belgium, you think? Or you don't know that history?
He went to, he was in Zimbabwe, he was in Kenya, he was also in some camps with the ANC to have the training to go back to South Africa. But yeah, that was a thing, it didn't happen. So his idea was, his dream was having a training for, let's say, 6 months and going back.
Going back to South Africa to fight?
Yes.
Yes, but that never happened.
No, ANC was keeping, at that time, you know, there was some issues and there was a part of the ANC that just kept him there and didn't want to go back. So he became angry. And then because after a while, you know, my father...
I can tell you smiling, you're going to tell something.
No. He started complaining and acting difficult, like, hey, bring me to my country, I'm ready to fight. Then they said, like, you know, what's better for you, you go to Europe and become like a spokesman. Because he was giving them a little bit of trouble. He was too young and too
active and fighting, a revolutionary.
Yes.
So would you agree with me if I were to say now, your father's deployment to Europe was to mobilize the ANC and communicate on the behalf of the ANC?
That was,
And because of that, could be that was the strategy of the ANC, because he was smart, intelligent, and they didn't want to lose him in fighting there. Instead of going and fight, let's use him for something else. That could be, we don't know.
That's a possibility, yes.
But like you mentioned, I know you for so long now, maybe I should just give our listeners a bit of history of that one. I met Junior in South Africa, in Belgium, when he came to South Africa for a project that he was leading at the time. You know, when we have people coming to South Africa or Europeans coming with a project, we always choose what projects that we want, not because we want to sometimes, but because of the experiences we have. It's either good or bad experiences. I don't know. But when we met at the time, and then you introduced the project, which I'm not going to talk about now, that we did, which was a success, I believe. And that project, actually, I can just mention the name. That was Murga. Because Murga is big, so I think it's better I mention it. Every Murga person anywhere in the world knows that this is the result of that project. So again, Mr. Mthombeni, you talk about your father. Do we know your father? What was his name, if I may ask?
I've got the same names, Morris Mthombeni Sepunyani.
Where is he from in South Africa?
He's from Kagiso.
Kagiso.
Yes.
Have you ever been there?
Yes, of course.
How was the family?
So, wow. The first time I went there was with a group called Internationals, a ska group, playing ska music, reggae, and we went on a tour. And we made a documentary about that. That was where our friend Han Zinze He also was there at that moment.
Hanzinze,
Oh.
Hanzinze, we talk about you.
Yeah, man, I'm getting you back.
You mentioned some things is getting you back. Don't worry, we are coming there. And what you did in South Africa to get is coming. Yes, yes. So Hansinze was there also because he mentioned
Yes.
that in the
Yes.
podcast that we did.
Yes.
That was 2007, I think. Eh?
Yeah, I'm very bad with
Yeah, I
years.
think it was somewhere 2007 because Murga was 2008 and that was before because you've been there before with international. It's either 2007 or 6.
I
something
think
there.
6 because then I was there again 7 and 8.
Yeah. So that could
Yeah.
be 6. Yeah. Okay.
So what was my point? Kagiso, meeting
yes.
meeting the family for I can say some of them the first time, the other ones like my brother, he came here with my auntie, but that was during the time of apartheid that they came, and I didn't want to go at that time, and my father also said we are not going there because they asked him, they were writing letters like, Mr. Mthombeni, you're welcome in your country and you can bring your family and we will give you what you, but you know at that time they use it as a trick.
Yeah.
The moment you go, then or you go to jail, or they use it as a propaganda like, here ex-ANC is coming back to his country, you know.
Or you die.
Yes.
Just have to put it because we know
Yes,
you die.
yes. So we had letters a lot. If you don't want to come, you can let your son come, etc. So at that time the feeling was okay, let's go. It was after apartheid and.
So would you agree to say now that you are the product of South Africa, and to my understanding, because you were born in Belgium, right? Should your father go to South Africa, it's very clear to me that maybe your father was going to be in Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And should your father be in Parliament, that means we were going to know him in South Africa, in our politics, because now I have a feeling that South Africans don't know your father. And they should have known him.
Yes.
That's
yes,
what I feel. And now that I'm talking to you today, my point is, because your father is not here again, maybe I don't know if I should mention that. Your father is not here now to speak for himself, but I think your father would have appreciated this podcast
very much.
And your father, man, let's not go back. Let's just leave your father there because I'm becoming emotional because I met your father.
You were like a son to him.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So we'll come back to his father.
Yeah.
Not now. So man, tell me about you when you went to Soweto for the first time or in South Africa. How was it?
To Kagiso.
Yeah.
That was very strange, Zukisa. As a son of a politician refugee, that my father was living in South Africa even when we were living here.
Really?
Yes.
I used to.
Yes.
I am.
I
He's
mean,
here.
here.
Yes, of course.
Here.
Now I get you.
Our house was South Africa. Everything we talked about was South Africa. Everything, the news we saw was South Africa. The anti-apartheid, so every memory, he missed his country, Zukisa, so much. You imagine you leave 3 children, you leave your family behind. They didn't know that he
was alive.
No, for 10 years they didn't know he was alive.
Shit.
Because they couldn't know. They went daily, the special, what was it, the special branch at that time?
Yeah, it could be, yes.
They invaded the house daily. They went into the coffin of his mother, of his grandmother, to really impose like, maybe he's sitting there, let's open. But you know what it means if you open the coffin, if you... yeah, it was so painful. and there was a pain that was living in the house also, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then okay, going home, the very strange thing was like, I know this place. It was not a cultural shock or something like, oh.
I mean, when you went there for the first time.
Yes.
Now, because your father already brought that image into you guys.
Yes. And it was like, okay, this is home. I know we know each other. And that was so, wow. So beautiful. And of course, let's be honest, you have the surface, and after a while, to be at that time, I loved the booze also a lot.
And you go to South Africa. Yeah, we drink in South Africa, man. I don't want to lie to you. Oh, man. So, I'm curious now, in your experiences now. Now you are in Kagiso. You're meeting your family, your brothers, the emotions. You're going out with the guys probably to drink and have fun. You're meeting girls, you're meeting everybody.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes.
You just, what is it to be in another country for the first time at that age? How old are you maybe for the first time you went there at the time? A teenager or already older than that?
Wow, but we are missing it because I'm talking about you now. But I went there before with a theater play.
You're talking about me now?
No, I mean, I'm talking about one of the first times that I met you. But I went with a theater company.
Yes.
KNS, a play of Tone Brulin together with Peggy de Landheer, etc. That was even then I was 21.
No, but now, Junior, you see now, let's not jump. Let's go back.
Yes,
we're still talking about Kagiso now. The first time you went there.
I was the first time in Kagiso. Then
that was the first time in the production. I thought your father brought you guys.
No,
okay.
No,
that's the first time ever.
The first time.
All right.
Yes. And that was crazy. It was not long after apartheid. That one was whoa.
So you never been in South Africa before the end of apartheid? You started to go to South Africa after apartheid.
Yes.
That means, and was it then?
Yes.
When you mean after apartheid, you mean after '94?
Yes.
Or just
okay.
After?
Let me see. What
because Mandela out 90.
And
then things changed a little bit in South Africa.
20. I went there like 94, 95.
Okay. Yes. No, I don't know what about that, but that's lovely. Yeah. So now, okay.
Yes.
So at the age of those in the 20s, come on, man, you do everything. You drink. Wow, how was it with the brothers?
It was a lot because I stayed in the township, so the rest of the cast was. They said you can go. I stayed. Of course, I stayed with the family. Yes. Sitting together with my brother, with my sister. The other one died. So it was very, very intense, but. You still felt the trembling of apartheid being there. That was crazy. So this was. We had a play, so we did some theaters we went to this big festival near Cape Town. What's the name? Not near, but
not the Grahamstown Festival.
Grahamstown Festival.
Okay, that is close to PE. Yes.
So from Joburg we made this journey. And,
were you flying or were you just driving? You can't remember.
You
flew there.
Yeah, I flew there. Yes. But we were Joburg, for me Kagiso, and then we went to Cape Town. But the one initiating the travels, we went to a lot of white
communities.
Yes.
Rich places.
But I made a point, I want to go with my brother and with my family. So at some places we came in and it was like, it's the first time a black man is in this country. You know, I remember the daughter of a policeman. And I had to go, I couldn't. You're gonna stay in my bed for the first time. There's a black man gonna stay in my bed. And then towards my brother.
And was the black man you?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so they see you as a black man.
Daniel,
They
yes,
see you as a black man.
yes,
You're talking about the white South Africans.
White South
I'm
African.
going to use the white
Yes.
and the black because that's
Yes.
what they know, but
Yes.
I prefer to use pale and brown.
At the same time, also being there was a situation. We were at a bar, and I was with some guys of young ANC. And there was a Belgian guy from a company. He wanted to take us somewhere to have a drink.
Yeah.
Near to Joburg, but white community. We went there. We were sitting there. Some of them just came out of jail.
As in where the
ANC South African, black South African guy.
Yeah.
I went with part of the ANC with my family and this white guy and the company, 3 people of the company. We went for a drink.
Mm-hmm.
They put it off the music, bam, and all the boeren they came.
Yeah. You know what is interesting is the fact that they saw you as a black man, but continue, we'll come back to that one.
We almost went into a fight. They came to the white Belgium
guys that you
actors.
were with.
Yes.
Yeah.
They said, you nigger lover. What you doing here?
Nee, Himindani.
I'm deadly serious. I'm deadly serious. You can ask them. So the tension was rising, and as well as let's say the black community, and there it was, bam. Now people are gonna die. Then the business guy that took he knew some of those people. He didn't expect this to happen.
Yeah.
And so slowly he put it out and we had to go. But imagine one guy just came out of jail and had a lot of abuse, like electroshocks, sorry to say it, on his testicles.
Yeah.
Like, I knew because they told the stories. He was like,
and those were political prisoners, right?
Yes. Yeah, they were doing toy and they were took from the street, and he was in jail for 3 or 4 years to do a toy. And then he came. They wanted, we come together, and this is because my uncle was also, because of my father, was in ANC, and he did the big strikes. Mm-hmm. Taxi strikes that were going on in Joburg, in Soweto, and that they said, no, okay, today all taxis we stop, we don't drive. That guy was also in this organ, but I mean, this was the first confrontation. These were the first confrontations.
Yeah.
The other one, I still remember, we were like in this little village. Don't ask me why. I was standing with a white woman, and there was a bank. This guy, this boy, he had the guy. I don't know why they could
carry the guns.
Yes. And he was opening this one, and he was watching, and he was like, I'm ready. So those confrontations, that was a cultural shock for me, or the culture shock.
And you know what it's a cultural shock. But now I'm looking at the time, because it's now 94, 95, just post apartheid. So
yes.
That means there's a transitioning between everyone there, and maybe some, they were intimidated, I don't know. But the cultural shock, what do you mean about it?
Because you asking and going to the townships and moving.
The excitement. I mean, that must be exciting because you're going home.
Yes, that was yes.
You went to the clubs also, I suppose.
Of course. Mbube and Bakanga, I did it all.
You did it all,
I did it all at that time.
So now you are at the club.
Yes.
And most of them are black people.
Yes. Yes.
With girls.
Yes.
With guys.
Yes.
You are now in a black club.
Yes.
Completely black.
Uh-huh.
Did you feel like you were welcome there? Did you get Because sometimes I would think like, I'm going there, I look different. Maybe you would think that. Because if you come to South Africa to me,
yes,
I'll see you somewhere there not knowing if you are from Belgium. Because in South Africa we have colors,
yeah.
And then I think he's just one of the colors.
Yeah.
But then your color is different.
Yeah, colors are there, yes.
I will tell now this
yes.
one is not from here. Because I can assure you some, when you come, they may not even know that your father is a black man or or your mother is a white man. They will see as a white man.
Yes.
But how was it in the club, man? How many girls did he get? Your wife is not gonna kill you, man. We're talking about history now. Let's leave that alone.
Oh, you're dangerous, man. He's dangerous.
You know what they say, man? Once you go black, you never go back. I don't know if that's true, but that's a cliche. But just tell me about the clubbing.
No, but at that time it was more the shebeens.
Yeah.
Yes. And the feeling was, I think people were happy that you dare to go into the townships.
Yeah.
And that you are not avoiding them, because it seems a lot of white or colored South Africans, they don't go into townships.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true.
Because it's separate worlds.
Yeah, now it may be different, of course, but
I don't know now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying myself, because I've been out for a long time.
Yes.
But it's true what you are saying, that it was not common in the past. At least colored people you would see,
Yeah,
because they
okay.
were close to each other.
Yes.
Not all of them, but and also white people you would. Even today, if you may walk in the streets of our townships now, you see a white man walking there, you are sure that that's a tourist.
Yeah.
But to see our own white people walking in our streets or just coming there, it's rare.
Yes.
I don't know if it's happening, because I don't know, but I never saw it. So I understand you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also that, so how would you define me, white or black?
Me?
Yes.
I mean, me, I don't care, to be honest. I see you as, to be honest, as a black man, as South African, we respect our traditions a lot. And we always go with the father's side. So for me, you are not black, you are not white, you are not mixed, whatever they call you, you are a black man. Why I'm saying this, this is not about not respecting your mother's culture. We believe that you have your father's surname, you will follow your father. Is your father white, is your father black, you follow your father's. As we look at you, of course, we can tell that you are not black. You can tell I'm black. Whatever you say it, we are brown but differently because of who we are. But that doesn't make you different.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell you. And even today, I still see you as brown as me. And the funny thing is, when I talked to your father for the first time, if you remember the day you took me to your house, man. Whew. Your father cried that day. And he said to me when I was leaving, Amandla. I was getting out of his house, we talked. And what was funny was that apparently we were related by blood. Because when we talked to find out, he knew also about my grandfather in exile, that they were there together. And then he started to tell me more stories about him. And he said, oh boy, you're my family. You told me, if you remember, that your father doesn't just talk to anyone. He's not open to anyone. And I was just talking to him, like trying to understand. But what is fun is that what you just said, that your father was always in South Africa. And that I noticed from that time, because he was interested in finding what is happening. What is this? And I remember we once talked about Julius Malema with your father, because he was uploading the boy, and but also he was a bit cautious about how the young people were taking politics forward and how they were challenging it and the way they were speaking. Even though he would say it's good they're doing what they're doing, but is it the right way to approach it the way they're approaching? That's what I think. At the time, Julius Malema was still in the youth league of the ANC.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly. But your father, we talked, I think we spent time about the ANC and this and that, and he also gave me names of people that I was supposed to pass some messages or deliver messages on his behalf when I went back to Soweto. So, yeah, man, I'm talking about Morris here, yeah. Anyways, where were we? It's just like that thing of your father. It's because when I talk or I see your father, I see myself in him. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I've been in Belgium now for a very long time. And the stories that your father told me of him being here and everything, I feel like some of them are repeating today, which is 2025, which I think they shouldn't be there. When I talked to Hans Zinze last time, and he told me a lot about his father and your father, things they did. And then I'm thinking, like, that means all the work that they did, probably 5% of it. Not a lot has changed up until today. And that brings us to the question of today, which we're going to talk about, because you may think that as we're going to talk about diversity, inclusion, that we haven't, but we already touched those things, but we didn't mention them. But your father, oh man, now I always ask myself, what's the next step? That's what your father kept on asking. Your father came to our house when my son was born. He's a crazy black man, that one. You know, he's... Maybe your mother is not gonna like this, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna come back to junior listeners, so don't worry at all.
No, it's good. It helps me also to... Yes.
Your father is coming to visit our son. But now, he became a black man. Why I'm saying this, black men will understand me when I talk about this, or South Africans or anyone. Because sometimes he just woke up and went there to Antwerp. Now he didn't tell his wife that he was going to see us there. Now your mother is calling. Is my husband there? Yeah, he's here drinking coffee. He's saying he wants to see his grandchild, he's here. And then you are asking, and oh, so no, I just woke up, I thought of my grandson. You know, the funny thing is I was not living in Belgium at the time, I was visiting. And your father knew I was going to leave for South Africa very soon. So I thought to himself, he was like, let me go and see this.
Yes.
And it's a shock because I'm just as young as it should be me who's visiting the old man. But the old man is there.
Yeah.
And for me, that was something else. Because when your father was there, it felt like I was home while I'm here. So maybe he felt that with others, of course, or maybe with when we talk, I don't know, but it was home. And then apparently there was, I don't know if Crystal posted something on social media where your father didn't recognize if it was me or another man, and he was fighting with her. Said, who's the other man there? I saw him. So have you seen the man? No, it's true. I said, were you sure? She was with another man. Who was that man? And said, no, it was Zukisa. He says, oh. But anyway, so to answer your question, if I remember where we were, was how do I see you? I see you the same as me. And the question you're asking is the same as the question that Trevor Noah always had. Because he said when he was going to America, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna finally be black. Because in South Africa, he was not black. But in America, looking like the way he looks, probably he will be categorized as black. But then he became a Mexican. Sorry, Trevor, man, that's a joke, but I had to say that.
No, but you know, the good thing when I go to Morocco, I'm a Moroccan. When I go to Cuba, I'm a Cuban. When I go to Brazil, I'm a Brazilian.
Yeah. It's true, man. It's true.
I was asking this, it's not a color thing, but what I also felt And that was happening when I'm with my auntie and all of them. They were also angry, and I really understand them. My father away from the country, then you've got this special branch coming in weekly, daily, depending on the situation in South Africa. Where is he? Where is blah 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 blah? So yeah, they had to endure a lot of hustle and pain, and then when he was gone, and then of course my brother and my sister had a little bit like, yeah, but for you it was easy.
And now, which brother and sister are you talking about? In South Africa?
Yes.
I believe you also have a sister in Belgium.
I have a sister in Belgium.
And then
yes,
siblings in South Africa as well.
Yes.
So they thought that you had a good life. So is what you are saying that is either they think you took their father away from? Is that what you are saying indirectly, or what do you mean about good life then? Maybe I should ask you this. Why would they think that you had a good life?
Well, the poverty, the apartheid, the hustle that they had, and they didn't and if you don't know you have a father, or you think he's dead, or if you don't know you have a brother, or you think he's he was the man of the family.
Yes, he told me that.
And he was gone.
Yeah.
And of course they don't know, like, okay, his life here, what did he do, or with pain, which pain it brings, being here and seeing everything from a distance and not being able to go back. Something like that.
And then they find out he was alive.
Yes.
And now?
Yes.
And then he comes with a child.
Yes.
Hey, this man, we thought he was dead, he was making kids. He's not dead, he's making kids somewhere there. But also it's a difficult time because we don't have WhatsApp. We don't have Facebook
nothing.
We don't have Skype. We don't have all these kind of things. So making a call at the time, it was really... And I suppose for him being underground as an ANC member, such calls, it's either they're monitored or whatever the case.
No, he couldn't.
He couldn't just...
He couldn't.
Exactly.
No, he couldn't. And then the moment we could, I swear to you, Zukisa, the money we spent it on phone, we went into debt because of that's a phone. It's not like now WhatsApp, you phone, no money.
Expensive,
at that time,
man.
Wow.
Oh, it's a landline.
And then as a South African, he phones. You have to talk. He has to talk to all of the family, but then he come here, Junior, come and talk to people I don't know, I never saw. And then, this is your uncle. Hello, uncle. How are you, uncle? And
I love that. I'm going to cut you there. Sorry, I'm going to cut you there. Because that's who we are.
Yes.
And that is something I miss in Belgium.
Yes.
But now, before we move away from that first time of you being there and having family, meeting the ANC, going to clubs, having girls and boys, whatever the case was. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna cut that one. So being there, you are being introduced to another culture. How people are social, I suppose. Was it something that you were not used to, or something that your father probably prepared you for it, or you saw life differently compared to Belgium? Because here, people don't live as we live in South Africa. I may not know my neighbor as I'm talking to you, because we don't say hi to each other, we don't talk. But in my street, everybody knows me because of me. I say hi, I don't care if you say yes or no, but that's me.
Yeah.
But how is it for you that...
Well, again, what I said, it was like feeling the feeling of coming home. Then what people said and did a trip with me was like, Junior, you change. When you are in South Africa, you feel that you are much more open, much more relaxed.
And probably free.
Yes. So there is a door somewhere that, a feeling of coming home, or something that completes me.
Do you still feel that when you go to South Africa? Because you've been going now years and years, but is it still there? The feeling, not that it can be that the atmosphere is different now, but the feeling.
Yes.
You inside you when you go.
I don't know what happened, but something. Okay, now we're going deep, but something after the death of my father changed.
it changed in a sense that you feel distance, or you feel
Yes,
like,
there is something that gives me
Wait. Change in a positive way, like now you want to find more, or you feel like...
again, I want to find more, but I felt this.
Yeah.
I really felt this. And is it because I didn't cope still? Cope with the death of my... He was my connect. He was also...
Yes. It's like a bridge between
Yes,
you and South
yes.
Africa. That's who he was.
And I have a feeling, but maybe Zukisa, I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that also there, South Africa was getting a little bit colder or something. Then all the beginning years that I was coming there. So I went like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. There was a feeling of a difference. And I don't know what.
I'm gonna cut. Wait, colder? You mean the family or just the people you know?
The people, the atmosphere, the
cold in a way that it was not as warm as it was.
Yeah.
The presence and
the
vibe and
the vibe, the joy, the connection. Is it me or is it society that is? Something my father also said, so he went back like 2 or 3 times and he said like, yeah, but individualiteit is more than before. Before it was more community.
Yeah.
And now
people are individuals now. They
more
and
more
money also probably.
Of course, it's not.
You know what you were saying?
Money. It's too easy to say money.
No, but now the
feeling of community.
Yeah,
it's more the European model is coming more there, or the Western model.
I get you.
Is that right or wrong? I don't know.
No, we may call it the Western because we are labeling it.
Yes,
which we shouldn't, but it's okay.
Yes.
Why? Because people live individually, like you just mentioned it, and the funny thing is, I experience that sometimes myself a little bit, but I think money plays a role because in the past we were all poor, but differently. Of course, some would afford, some wouldn't, but we were a community. And also I think at the time we knew what we were fighting for. Our struggle was the same.
Yes,
but
true.
But now we think we've got it all. I've got a job, it pays me good money. I leave the townships, I go and live in a suburban area with the whites or with the black, but I afford now. Now the question is, do I feel different? Or I just want to take my distance? Hey, we understand, we respect that individualism. But what you are saying, I feel like sometimes it's there, but of course, people change. And it should happen. There's nothing wrong with change.
No.
But I understand what you feel. That sometimes I feel lonely when I'm in South Africa. I only see family myself, and some I don't see. Some have passed while I'm living here, and some it's just crazy, man. It's just like sometimes the feeling of coming home. If there's no family, I'm thinking now, what am I doing here? Only to see my parents. But I understand you.
But and also because we are talking now micro level, not on a political debate.
Yes.
And also on the micro level, maybe the dream image is explode, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think for me it's time to go back and let's say see it through the eyes of an adult and not anymore the child.
Yeah, also. Yeah.
There is something that
But how's your family? Is also changed, you feeling as a family? But of course everybody gets older now, right?
They're getting old, yeah. They're good.
Good.
They're good. Yes, I've got a lovely family.
Man, I'm gonna take you back now to, because what we talked about you being in South Africa, about you, which is lovely. You were born here, you grew up here, you've seen both sides, South Africa, Belgium. I'm not going to use Europe, I'm not going to use Africa. I know you've traveled. I just want to use the two countries so that we are specific. let me not talk about now. Maybe we talk back and come now. You say to yourself that in the past you felt like it was warm when you went to South Africa, but now it seems like it's different. In Belgium, when you were young, have you ever experienced any, I don't want to go to the racial things because those, they stay there. But you being probably different at the time, and I'm thinking your father at the time, maybe there were not a lot of black men in the city. Some maybe they started, for the first time they saw a black man close by was your father. But how was the situation as a child? Did you ever feel like you are different? I'm asking this question because I'm going to come to your work.
Yes.
Because your work... No, let me not talk about that. It's coming. Otherwise, I'm going to give you clues. Before we come to your work,
yes,
how was it for you? I'm not talking about home now. I'm talking about just general. You had friends, you go to school, you had other kids, but how was it? Because this question, I'm going to take it from then up to today. Because I feel like today, the things you went through, should you say whatever you're going to say now, could it be that the kids of today who look like you or who look like me still have the same problems?
Okay.
But how was it for you?
How was it for me? Wow. In society, you get used to everything. So I was used to I had a troubled youth also because of a lot. That one I'm also not going deep into.
No, not about that, yes.
The thing is, imagine now, okay, first black man in Mechelen. White woman. Now, my grandparents, deaf. I was brought up in sign language. Imagine a Mechelen, a little city. Then my sister, lesbian.
And your father doesn't speak Dutch at the time?
And yeah, a little bit of Afrikaans.
Yeah, of course we can.
Yes, he knew how to.
Trying to get his way there in Afrikaans. He's a totsie van kaas. Ik zeg, verstaan je? Ik is baie lief vir jou skat, en as jou papa. Convincing your mom. Ek is 'n altie van kaas, ek is baie lief vir jou, hè? Sorry, Julia, continue.
Oh, I love it. No, and so imagine that. It maybe this is like you cannot become more exotic than that.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It gave me a wisdom. Don't talk to me about diversity. This in the South African daughter, lesbian, all those. There
combined,
is there is a lot to learn and to talk, and how do you move?
You have to find a way
only in the family. Only in the family. That's number
before
one.
You go outside.
Before you go outside.
Yeah.
But we learned how to become strong also outside. So I took it as a pride and not like, oh, I've got this. So every time that all the stories, not, let's say, you imagine you're 16, you go to discotheques and they're like, you don't enter. You want to work somewhere? Yeah, you know. But I took it as, okay, I see you. But you're not gonna kill me, it makes me stronger. But only that mind. Yeah,
it drove. Actually, that mind drove you. Okay, you talk because when I see it,
yes, you become
positive.
Yes,
and
yes,
you took it in a positive way. That it drove. It channeled you to other directions.
It gave me energy.
Yeah,
it gave me energy. But at the same time, it means you never rest. You never feel like, wow, I'm home. Also, not in South Africa. There's a part of home when you come there. Also here, there's a part of you that, not all the stories like my friends from Mechelen, hey, but Junior, for us, you like, you one of us, huh? You really one of us. But even that time I told her, no, okay, I play with you, but I'm not. Because the moment you're outside, when I go from Mechelen to, let's say, Mthombeni, they're not going to say, there's a guy from Mechelen.
No.
You know, in this group, yeah. And like you said, when you come in the township, when I'm with my family, he's a South African. And the friends, the inner circle will say, they're like you, he's a South African. But when you see me in the township walking around and you don't know me, you won't say like, he's one of us.
Yeah, no.
So you belong and you don't belong. That's
Did you ever feel then that, like, in some of it's either social things or activities or whatever, that you were excluded in some things, but not directly, that you are not told? Because now you just mentioned also going to clubs, jobs and everything, that they will say no. For me, that's exclusion.
That's exclusion.
They don't include you to what they do.
Yes. Once there was a there was a discotheque where I had to play music. So I did my sound check.
Play singing or your drums?
Yeah, singing drums.
Another thing, as he mentioned, he's a musician, guys. He's crazy. You should follow him. He's crazy. Very good musician. No, but that's the truth. Okay.
Thanks. So I did a sound check. I went out. I wanted to come back, and they said, "Yeah, you're not allowed."
No.
They didn't know I was the guy doing the sound.
But now you're not allowed. You can't come in here.
Then I said, "Okay, it's good, but you talk to your manager."
But did they tell you why you were not allowed? What was the reason?
Please, at that time, it's your color. Please don't. They don't have to. No.
They don't have to spell it out for you.
No. Do you? What did they ask? Always. How do you call it? Lidkaart. What is a lidkaart?
The lidkaart, yeah. If you is that the card that you'd have to?
Yes. Do you have your lidkaart?
Yeah.
They don't ask anyone.
That's your identity card also now to prove a lot of things there, I suppose.
No, lidkaart is the one that you are part of the club. So the card that they give you like this.
A lidkaart, for those who speak English, it's a membership.
Membership.
Yes, it's a membership.
Yes. They don't ask anybody for a membership. You come, you say, "Can you give you a membership?" What?
He looks a little.
I said, "No, okay, I'm going, but please talk to your manager and tell him I'm not coming, but I'm gone." So I left, and then I wait till they beg me to come back in. They had to beg me, like, no, I'm not going. And in fact, at that time, would it be now, I wouldn't go in anymore. But imagine now, I'm talking about, I'm talking 30 years, yeah, something like that. Yes.
But Junior, the strength that you have, would you say that your father prepared for all the things?
Of course, and my mother also, because my mother is a warrior. She was called like a bitch. Whoa.
She was a bitch because she was dating a black man.
Yes, but she. Yeah.
Oh man, I love your mother, man.
Yeah.
You know, I always call her during her birthdays.
She was very strong.
Did your mother ever, sorry, I'm going to cut you, Junior, because this is interesting. Did your mother ever tell you, or just talk as you as kids, or what did she see from a black man? Other people don't want blacks. You are a bitch, you're dating a black man, and she doesn't see a black man, she sees somebody that she loves.
Yes, it was love at the first sight.
It's a black man?
Yeah.
And your father was a charmer? Oh,
no, he was a charmer, yes, too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your mother couldn't resist, I can imagine.
That's it.
No, but man, it's crazy because we're talking about 60s now, and it's really crazy because I think about it sometimes, because even today it's happening. I think even today...
They were 72 and they had a cafe called Jumbo. And in the beginning it was like hip. Everybody wanted to go. Why? They took reggae music, they took African music, the record, James Brown. So the vibe was wow. But then, of course, my father left his country because of the racism and the this. So in this bar, there are people. You drink a little bit, like, hey, how is it with the black man? And people like that is just said like, okay, go out. You're out. You don't have to be here. So after some years, no people came anymore, because that was what people love to do, to come in.
Yeah.
He said, no, not in my house. There was another guy in Antwerp. He also had, I think, it's the Zoete Naam Jezus. And he was talking to my father. He said, but no, you just let them talk. Just let them talk and then think about, but he couldn't.
Your father was a revolutionary.
Yeah, he couldn't. So even maybe, it's something you're born like. It's not. It's like, he could say like, okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to just, and maybe you let people talk 1 cent, but it comes up like, no, this doesn't feel good in my body.
Do you think, Junior, that in Belgium we have enough diversity?
Whoa, do I?
Do we have diversity in Belgium?
So do we have it? I think in the cities it's growing, and if I see the difference between diversity in my time and diversity now, I'm like, hey. We were at a time that if you see someone with another color passing, you said, hey, how are you? For sure, because you didn't. So, and now when I see the schools and things are, yeah, it's moving, but yeah,
You know why I'm laughing?
Why?
What you just said, when you see someone like, then you say hi.
Yeah.
It's happening today. Every time I meet a black man, no, but even before, it's either he or I.
Yes.
We salute one another.
Oh.
It will never stop.
Oh.
And it's like it hasn't changed. It's still there. But okay, some it has changed. These like cities which you don't care. But I'm telling the majority, if they don't say it, they look at you. We look at us. We have that.
100%.
Hey man, it's like the guys who are coming, whatever the problems that some from other African countries coming to Europe. It's like, if, for instance, if I make an example of the guys who come by sea and losing people in the sea, whatever, and you come one day, you would want to see, maybe, I think to myself, because I don't know that.
Yes.
Maybe you think you're going to recognize him, maybe someone, I don't know. But we have that, I don't know,
Yeah, but now you're talking black man. Now, at that time, in the 70s, it was, you could be from Indonesia. You could be from Morocco, Algeria. I'm just. Or a black man.
It didn't matter, but as long as you were not a Belgian at the time, you would respect you,
and then you would say, hey, how are you? Because, like, each other's stories. That one is gone. That one is because, diversity is there. The other question is, what do we do with diversity? Difficult to that word already, but okay. When I see, like, for instance, in Mechelen, school time, I see a city that is so diverse. You see the kids running around, the city it's mixed up, blah, blah. But then I dare you, go in the evening. Go on Friday, Saturday, it becomes, it's white city.
What do you mean?
The diversity is out. So that means that in Brussels it's more, Antwerp it's more, that you see it in the nightlife, that you see it in the theaters, that you see it in that it becomes a part of your society. That's something I still don't see. More, even on television, in theater, but not in the structures. Not in the beheerraad of the director or the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that space, there is where you make the difference. There you really make the difference. And we are still not at that space where we can make the difference.
Okay. So it's still something that we can work on.
Of course, because it stays like that. See, I can talk about theaters. They're trying to do a nice job to, let's think about diversity, but it's still them talking about us. Even if you let coloreds or what do some directing or it's someone you bring in and then you get him out. But there where they have to make the rules, there you need the diversity. Then things are going to change. Because you got another, when you, let's call it beheerraad, when it's a mix, you talk different. When you theater, when it's a mix, because you bring in your knowledge, your culture,
different ideas,
the things that you experience, you see, then it's not anymore we talking about you.
Yeah.
We are you.
Exactly.
And there, the work is there. On all levels. So do we see diversity? Enough. But it's not in the structures. It's time to come into the structures.
Do you think people understand what diversity is?
Even me, I don't understand it, so explain.
I don't know it myself. You know why? Because if I knew it...
On which level? I mean, there's so...
No, but Junior, this is complicated because if we knew it, we're not going to be talking about it today. So that means we don't know it. Because if we knew it, why don't we practice it then? I mean, it's 2025 now. Because is it about just to see color, just to respect other people's cultures or traditions?
Gender, culture, age,
what? Is it only about that? I don't know. And that's why this podcast, because really, honestly, sometimes I'm confused. But now, Junior, with the diversity issue, because let's say now we have all the people, like you mentioned that in the past you would see different people, doesn't care if you were Asian or whatever, where you're from, but the fact that you were different than the rest, you were like, hey, that's my brother, or whatever the case is. You also mentioned the clubs, whereby you were not allowed in some places because of the color of your skin.
Called stupid.
Called stupid.
Really? Yes, of course.
Because you are black? Or
of course, yes.
Come on, Junior.
Yeah. Yes. You know, because of, I told you, I had some problems in youth time. So it didn't go well at school. But what they told my parents was, yeah, but it's normal. He's an African.
Fuck.
Instead of saying like, oh, there is something with this young boy, there is something going wrong or what? No, they just, but...
He's African.
Yes.
There's a part of him that is African, so it's normal that their brains function to
yes.
You know, when my son was young, normally in schools here, at a certain age, a child should be able to walk, should be able to see, should be able to pee by himself, they should be able to do things. And my boy started walking very fast actually. Like I would expect as an African, he should walk very fast. They walk fast, our kids. He did things before, some of the things, and he was active, playing and everything. But if there was something he was to delay on, like you're just saying at times, I felt that, what you just said, that could it be that because he was different or whatever, but I don't want to have assumptions. But I know what you are saying, that over the years I've experienced it myself.
Yes.
By moving up to this country.
Yes.
What you are saying, stupid, I think I'll come to tell you why, because applying for jobs, number one, being a graduate from another country, not being here, they look at you at times, some of them, when you go for jobs, starting with your name, if they invite you for an interview, you can't be as smart as our people here.
Our art is naive. They like to call it naive art and basic.
Art and basic. Coming to art and basic. Now you are taking me back to that transitioning from South Africa coming here, because I remember the projects you and we did together. Some of them whereby we had professional actors from other countries trying to get a space in the Flanders and being introduced, and thanks to you and Michael de Gogh and other people. Gerardo also, didn't forget
Junior Akwete. I can.
No, but Junior Akwete at the time I didn't know him.
Okay,
I'm talking now back now.
Okay,
maybe 2012, 2010. But now I'm taking you now back. Also.
Because you've got a lot of warriors there.
And at the time, I didn't know much of the black actors in Belgium at the time as today. Now I see also on TV. I didn't see them at the time.
No.
Now I see some people are coming. Either it's family or it's dress or whatever. It comes as an advert I see, and people I know that I've been with for years as actors. Some were born here.
Yes.
I didn't understand why they couldn't be on television or could be anywhere. They speak the language of the country. If it was me, then I understand. I didn't speak the language, so you wouldn't cast me if you wanted someone who speaks the language at the time. And those actors, they suffer the same as me. So now, where were we? Okay, so now, seeing today, I see the difference is coming, but slowly. But it's getting there.
Yes.
What were we talking about, man? These things, they make me emotional.
No, but then again, of course, it's going slowly. We are go back to the structures.
Yes, we are coming to that structure. What you were talking about, that the stupid thing, we were there, that you were called stupid at times because of the color of your skin. I've been called that several times. Some they didn't tell me directly.
You see?
One time, I was not called stupid. I was told I will never ever work in Belgium as an engineer.
You see?
No, they told me directly. He was racist. I reported that guy to VDAB. And they were taking actions about it, but I don't know where the case went because I was so angry. That's the day I was pissed off. I should say this because it's important.
Yes.
And it is the truth. And as an actor, you know how our life could be, can be difficult at times, and then you want to balance financial strains, you want to do this and balance things, and as an actor again, there's a lot of roles that they were not given to us, especially people who don't speak Dutch. They want a black actor, he doesn't speak Dutch. There are black actors here who speak Dutch, but they were not cast. I know different occasions, but I'm not going to talk about them in details. But for you, man, I find that crazy. Yeah. Anyways, Junior, let's pass that, man. I don't want to leave you crying here.
No, but don't. I'm totally not crying.
No, I know.
I know. But it's also important to say, like, okay, this is a part of the struggle.
Yes.
But we know, if I think about a part of my family living in squatter camps, or we can go from Congo to, that's a different struggle. That's even,
Yeah, man. I was when I was thinking of making this podcast.
Yes.
I was thinking what to talk about. Is it diversity matters more? Is it inclusion matters more? Is it equity matters more, or everything?
Yeah.
And now I come to the equity thing. I will think of the companies, man, do we get equal opportunities? Is the system, I don't know, man.
And the strange thing also, I want to say also, is a perception.
Yes.
Now, if I talk to a lot of people, also in culture, like, at this time, you have to be a woman or trans or black, and then you can make it. Otherwise, you cannot.
What do you mean about that?
That's what we're talking about, diversity.
Yes.
So to make a chance,
Yeah.
you have to be there. But then, okay, then I watch around. Then I'm, okay, let's go to our subject being a colored on stage.
Yes.
It is not that 90% of all the plays are colored people playing it. Oh yeah, it is not.
Mm-hmm.
If I go, it's the programmation mostly is white. I say this with respect.
Oh, of course, indeed.
But don't come and tell me that every play that you have to make or that you see, it's about colored people. It's not that. I don't see it. But in the heads of everybody, it's like, yeah, at this time, oh, I'm fed up with this diversity because everything has to be diverse. Well,
But why?
but I don't see it. I maybe some time to time, yeah, there, but we talk about it a lot, but I don't see it on stage. I don't see it happening.
There's no action at all.
No,
They
maybe
just
in the,
talk.
okay, let's talk about a few houses that are doing the work, like KVS, to be honest,
Yeah.
they're doing the work. Some places, yes, but it's not every stage in Belgium that you say, oh, again, diversity or what, no way. No way.
Yeah. You know, Junior, there's, I know you and I, we can talk the whole day. There's still a lot to talk about, but I'm gonna try to now switch to your work.
Yes.
Because but before I switch to your work, I want one final a message from you regarding all the experiences that you had, being called differently, being not allowed, which I believe is still happening today. What would you advise a young man who probably in your situation today, and in that advice you're gonna give that young man, what do you think we can do to make sure that such situations do not happen again, or we take action to say we want this to be better in the future?
Wow, that's a difficult one. That's okay because it relates also to my place. You can find strength in community, and I hope that, like with me, I had a lot of good people and friends like you. Even away from color, it was very diverse. That diversity, the word, that group that said like, come on, let's do this. It's giving me, so these interactions are so important. Feeling home and talking like we are, we are doing.
Yeah.
It gives you strength.
Yeah.
And take your strength from there, because sometimes, and try to change your world, but sometimes you're gonna have a knockout, like the stories that you're telling.
Yeah.
But it's not only that. It's good that we can share these stories and what did it do with you and this and that, and we get it gives you a lot of power.
Shall we just share? We should take action. We can share stories, but what do we do about it?
No,
that's
that's
another thing.
That's your first step is
To share.
I think so, because it gives you a foundation, and from that foundation you can change.
You can build.
You can build, but not everybody has that. The capacity or the
capacity to change.
Yeah, the mogelijkheid, the possibility.
The possibility.
Yes. So it's on us, like what you're doing with the podcast. Yes.
Do you think it's a waste of time, this podcast?
No, it's important to do this. It's so important.
Because sometimes I feel like I'm just wasting my time. People are tired of diversity, inclusion, equity stuff.
No, Zukisa,
And Donald Trump said it was dead.
So,
But anyways,
let's make it alive. Let's yes.
Man, I'm gonna switch to your work, because I would love to touch base the things that you do things that you have done for others, it would be very sad that we finish this podcast without going there. I know that some may have missed what we have talked about in terms of the 3 words, but I think in everything we talked about is the part of diversity, is the part of inclusion, is the part of equity.
The fact that we are sitting here, the fact that we are sitting here before this camera tells us, yeah.
Did you hear that? Boom!
No.
We should have that sound. It's gonna come later. I should edit that too.
Can I have a knip?
Yes.
Just
yeah, go and pee, whatever you want to do.
Yes.
Go and pee. Let's pause it here, ladies and gentlemen at home. But meanwhile, he's gone. This is an opportunity for me to tell you about the man I'm sitting with here, with his Junior Mthombeni. We're gonna start now. We're gonna talk about his work, what he has done, which he has done a lot. And from there, I think it will be better after his work. And then we can come to the issues of today and how can we tackle this. As we know that our podcast is focusing on revolution. I'm not talking about that kind of doing riots and all that kind of stuff, if possible, but that's not the plan. So the plan is now to go back to his work, why is he doing what he does, and why he feels it important to tell the stories that he tells. And from there, I think we would have a good podcast for today. So ladies and gentlemen, let's now take a break, a very short one, and then we're going to come back to Mr. Mthombeni.